Hi YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a daily plan with me. Today is June the 27th, 2024. For those of you all who are just now watching me, welcome. I try to do a daily plan with me at least one day out the week, and I typically do it on the day that I'm off because I have much more time to dedicate to it. So right here, you'll see me just pretty much showing you the nails and gel nail strips that I got from Walmart. I already put a video, like a very short video out on showing you all some things that I got from Walmart that I was super excited about. And yeah, so today this daily plan with me is, of course, planning my day out today, but also me kind of catching up on some things that I haven't been doing throughout the week. One thing I can say is this week I have been looking at my planner a lot more. So I actually took this notebook with me to work throughout the week. I did not use it, but I took it with me, and I remembered to take it out of my bag once I got home. So that may sound very small and not mean much of nothing, but for me it does, because I typically don't take my planners out of the house. I'll have like a calendar or just a regular notebook, small notebook, but I don't normally take my planners out with me. And I think I was more okay with taking it out because this isn't like the planner that I started with and decided to use for June. So the fact that I kind of switched to this, I did feel that it was a lot more functional in the sense of my guards were down with everything. I wasn't concerned about how it looked. I wasn't concerned about nothing. And I'll tell you, I pretty much had it because I was thinking, like, after this is the last week in June, but I was thinking after this last week in June, I can just continue to use this notebook, but use it as like a commonplace. So me taking it around with me would be more helpful, just in case I have to jot notes down, or I'm reading a book and it's a phrase or something that I want to remember. I think it's pretty good to have. So, needless to say, I'm just glad that, I took it with me, and I was a lot more present this week in my planner than I have been in a while. The stickers you'll see me using are from the Dollar Tree. I decided to go ahead and pull out the other set because I know for next week I plan at least to use it. So we'll see. I just wanted to put that out, pull it up to kind of have that ready. Other than that, I think I've been pretty good with this for the most part. I typically like to do my to-dos in the morning of that day. The only time that I will do a to-do like the day before something is if it's something that I'm really, really trying to remember. Like, I work tomorrow, and I am really, really trying to remember some of the HR things that I need to take care of when I get there. And because this is my job, but I work relief, I'm not regularly scheduled there, it can be a challenge to remember to keep up with the paperwork with this job because it's not my main job. But here you'll just see me putting some things down. One thing I really like about just the system that I have is how I add gratefulness into there as well. And being able to just think of something that I'm grateful for, because sometimes, a lot of things go on in our life, and life is just steady going, and it can be hard to stop and think about something that did happen on that day or within that hour that was good for you. And I think it's just really important. So I did want to talk today, which is why you kind of seen the gel nail strips that I had, I wanted to talk today about self-care. And it's something that I've pretty much always struggled with, but it's also something that I hear so often. And the bad part about it is I say it often. And I apologize. I really don't know what's happening with my voice. I know the weather has been so off lately, and I have sinus year round anyway, but it seems to really act up, and nose and everything going. So hopefully you can understand me pretty well. But self-care is something I've always struggled with. I literally say it to clients, I don't know how many times a day, which is so bad. I think I know that it works. I know that it's important. I know that it's always drilled not only with my profession, and I think that's one of the reasons why it weighs heavily on me, because I know I should be doing self-care way more than I am now, and I know that I don't want to burn out at my job, and that's one of the major things that they always say with self-care, especially in certain professions, is that it's really important to have it, and it helps sustain you, but also help, keep you from burnout or compassion fatigue. So, it's I don't know. I feel like self-care, unless you have always done it and it's almost like the norm or the routine for you, or if you may not have like that many responsibilities to do, I think that self-care in those sense is a little bit easier than when you're either always at work, or your schedule is always packed, or you're always helping your family out in some way. Self-care can be very difficult because it automatically goes on the back burner. And I try to make plans for self-care. Like, I'll plan, just certain things, whether it's an outing or what have you, I'll plan it. I know that society likes to always say for self-care, if you're a woman, like, get your nails done, get your toes done, go shopping, stuff like that. And if you are not that type of person, or it doesn't resonate with you, I don't know, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. And it's something that self-care, I feel, is something that you have to get to know yourself with some. And I say that because some people like some clients I work with, they will say, well, nothing works for them. And they'll only be doing what their therapist said, their psychiatrist said, or somewhere along those lines. They'll be doing exactly what they say. And the deep breathing, for instance, may not work for them, or the grounding techniques may not work for them. Walking may not work for them. Watching TV may not work for them. Not everyone is into music, contrary to what everyone thinks. A lot of people think that music is just one of those things that just literally everybody loves. Not a lot of people are into music, and it's not something that would help kind of get them out of a certain mood or help take care of themselves. One thing that I have kind of discovered with self-care in my journey is that self-care does not always equal immediate relaxation or a feel-good kind of moment. And this is just my take on it. Self-care for me at times has looked like taking people out of my life, giving them a different title, giving them a different place or meaning based off of their behaviors. So self-care can be very difficult. It's not all unicorns and roses. And I try to just say me, but self-care looks so different. Self-care for me And what I'm working on now is creating a system of things the same way I created a system within my planner. I feel as if I need to create a system within my life, especially my home life and just life all around. Because if it's no balance or close to a balance, it just doesn't work well. And that's where I'm at. I think that's why I'm having such an issue with my planners, because I am all over the place right now. So many things are coming up for me, and times like this is when self-care is most important and should be done, because if you're feeling overwhelmed, you have a lot on your plate, just stress, anxiety, it is definitely something that needs to be done. And in my case, I hold like a lot of tension in my back and just within my body. So if I'm tense like all day, I think that's why I'm totally like physically and mentally tired and drained, because I'm just going. And it's one of those things that I think we probably all hear all the time. Oh, self-care, you should do self-care. You should take care of yourself. It's so important. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. And I don't think it's that people don't hear it or don't get it. I think they don't know how to go about achieving it. And because the majority of people that promote it make it seem so easy, and it's really not. It's really not at all, because it's the difference between maintenance and self-care. It's some people that get their nails done, hair done, wax, shopping. It's some people that do that regularly. That's just them. That's just their maintenance. That's what they require just to have maintenance, and it has nothing at all to do with self-care. So I feel like self-care is something that you have to look deep down in, maybe try out some things to see what is good for you. I suggest like going on Pinterest or Google and looking up some ways to self-care, and maybe even challenge yourself to do a self-care challenge. And that's something that I wanted to try to do, because it's an area that I struggle in, and I really need to get better with it. So let me know down below, do you all regularly do self-care? Do you, what do you do to take care of yourself? Because that just looks so different for people. Sometimes it's cutting your phone off for 5 hours or 2 hours. It's just doing what really takes care of you. And if you have a person in your life, or if you're pushing yourself into obligations and you don't necessarily have to, self-care could be saying no. Self-care could very well be saying yes. It just all depends on what's going on in your life and what is going to truly feed you and take care of you. So I would suggest evaluating and reevaluating what self-care means to you. Are you doing it? And are you happy with what you're doing? I notice in my field that so many people do things off of routine and never really stop to think if they actually enjoy it. They're either just doing it because it's so many ads or so many people around them that steady talking about it and saying what to do in this and that situation. And they never really have an opinion on anything because they're just doing what everybody else wants. So definitely check in with yourself. I think that's always good and something that should be first and foremost, like really checking in with yourself and seeing what it is that you like and what it is that you need. And some people, depending on what challenges you're going through or what season you're in your life, you may need to do self-care once a day, twice a day, or 3 times a day, but it can look so different. It doesn't have to be this thing that's drawn out to a whole day. Some people need a whole weekend. For me, I need like a good reset, like not just a 5-minute thing. So really look at what works for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are practicing self-care. Let me know down below, what is your idea of self-care and what have you been doing? I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.